All right, guys. So welcome to another. What is
You
this?
could start off this one if you want. It's up to you.
Yes, it was. Nah, you could start off. It was.
Oh, he's in Naples? Oh, wow. He's looking to add some value. Maybe Forex League could hop on this. He's doing stock trading. Maybe, yeah, Jeremy, send me his name if you got Instagram or something. Check out, see what he's doing.
Hop on the train. Yeah, man. All right. So is this recording? Oh yeah,
Naples
it
is a
is.
nice area, man. Naples is really nice. I
Yeah,
think that's
for sure. All right, guys. So Wednesday. What's today's date? The March 3rd. Here, we're getting ready to get in on some positions. We're going to run through like we normally do some top down analysis. We'll go over all the pairs that we're looking at to potentially get in on. And Nick's gonna kick it off here. If you guys are beginners and you're the first time on the session, whatever, we'll always start with the dollar index, and then we're just gonna work our way through some minor pairs and major pairs. This is all just analysis. The signals will be given in the signals group for you guys that are inside of the signals group, but you guys can use this analysis to help you out.
see, look at AU here. Looks very similar to GU. It's popping up on the 4 hour. All right,
Yeah.
guys. So I'm gonna run through some pairs here. Just these six. Why is this already giving me shit? These six here, and we're gonna start off with DXY, which is just the U.S. dollar. This essentially just shows us the strength of the U.S. dollar and what the dollar is doing on the 4 hour, whatever time frame we pick. So I'm gonna start off here on the daily. I'm gonna understand the overall trend, and then drop to the 4 hour and come up with trade scenarios for you guys. So we're not actually going to trade DXY. We're just using this more or less as an indicator or another level of confirmation because the US dollar makes up for 80% of all trade and is, especially more lately, influencing the market greatly. So you'll see some rallies coming out of US dollar. You'll see a lot of USD pairs, start to move with that. Okay, so the rest of the market is very, very correlated to DXY, especially recently. So it's good to understand what's been going on here first before we move on. Okay, so overall, very bearish. Here we are on the daily time frame, very much bearish. We did move through our major level of support, our monthly zone at 91.5. As you can see over here, right? Price action blew through that, right? Came back up, tested as a lower high, started pushing lower. This is clearly bearish movement, right? Lower lows, lower highs. That's what defines a bearish trend. We're breaking support, testing as resistance. So that's clear here, right? Now we can go to the 4 hour and see what price action's doing on this time frame. So this is going to be more of the intra-week type stuff. This will cover the next few days on this time frame. So this is what's most relevant to us this week, right? So this is what we want to, this is the time frame we want to stay on for now. Look for transition, structure, and so on. So this is an area, a bit of a range, right, between 90.8 and 90 flat. We're ranging between this for a little while. We had a little bit of a breakout here. Didn't get the higher low to continue with that. It fell back into the range. We kind of whipped around a little bit. False breakout down here. Then we got a breakout up here. Came back, gave us a higher low, and now is engulfing. So this thing is looking bullish. It's looking bullish right now on this time frame. Okay, so daily we know is bearish. 4 hour is looking bullish. So this is what could happen. This thing could just kind of continue up into our monthly zone. This would be our next target. Actually, I'll just draw it like this for now. 91.5 is where we're targeting next. We're looking for this to rally into this area before we can reanalyze. Because again, this is an area, an important area this monthly. So even if price action does shoot into this area, we're not going to be able to understand where it's going after that until we see either a massive break like this. So it's either going to push into the monthly and then continue higher, give us some sort of higher low. This would be like a higher time frame continuation, or it's going to reject as soon as it gets to this monthly. So the point is, we're looking for this to continue into the monthly, and then we're going to be patient and analyze from that point and see where it's going potentially from there. But let's go to the daily real quick again, double check some things. Okay, so I always like to jump around time frames to get a more of a macro perspective. I always jump up time frames, double check my targets on the daily. So this is what we just covered on the 4 hour down here. This little breakout is giving us a higher low. So for us to be long or bullish on the daily time frame, we need to see a higher low above the monthly, right? So that would then be a daily transition. We'd then be considering the dollar to be bullish again, if that happens. Okay, but if not, look for the rejection from the monthly. But we'll see. So right now, bullish on DXY. This thing is taking forever to load. Ugh.
Yeah, your internet's crap.
Yeah, I don't know why. I might just have to reset the Mac. It's been on for a while.
Let's see.
All right.
Dude, my
So let's
Mac's
go to
been on for
AU,
like 100 straight days.
right? Sometimes it needs a good refresh, man.
It's
It really
ridiculous.
does. Oh God, this charting. There we go. All right. So first pair, AU guys. We're gonna do the same thing. Daily time frame.
I think Nick cut out. Let me see. Yeah, I think he dropped off. I'm gonna go ahead and just share. I'm gonna go ahead, share up here. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Let me see this. Rip Nick. Yeah, Nick's out. Nick's out. So this fucking GU trade is pulling back right now. We got in on this at the beginning of the call. We're down in drawdown about 18 pips. I'm still looking for this thing to go long. As Nick just kind of noted, the dollar is a bit strong right now. So I'm going to go ahead, hop on to here. This fucking pair. We're having some serious technical difficulties right now. Look at the dollar. Getting strong, moving up. Let's hop around some time frames. So let's move up to the weekly. So on the weekly time frame, going into this week, we did have this morning star. This is a very bullish candle here. So this thing, following last week could potentially push up. The daily time frame, we had tested this level, closed in a bearish engulfing yesterday. So that's why I was pretty bearish on this. But as you could see here, getting great. As you can see here, this thing has broken the resistance, came down. Now it has found some support right there. And now we're just pushing up. We're pushing up a little bit. What's good, dude?
What's up?
Pushing up a little bit.
iPhone.
Yeah, I think you got chopped out there.
Yeah, I got booted, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cover
Yes.
some things.
Go for it.
Got this. All right, so the dollar is obviously pushing up a little bit right now, but overall, I mean, on this weekly time frame, we are very bearish. This daily bearish engulfing to me was pretty major, but obviously this thing's pushing up now. So it's like we'll see. This level is the level that needs to hold. I'm still pretty bearish on this. Again, we had this GU trade early in the session. If you guys didn't get in yet, I would definitely wait. Things pulling back like a bitch. Things pushing down hard right now. But let's just start on the higher time frames. Look at the weekly. The weekly obviously is rejecting this serious resistance level last week. Huge freaking candle, large wick. Didn't engulf the previous candle. So to me, I was like, okay, let's see if it comes back in to retest. Down to the daily time frame. Daily time frame overall is very bullish. We pulled back, hit this level. Now we're getting a lot of sellers stepping in right now. Down to the 4 hour, we had, again, this is just a bullish, overall very bullish trend. I originally was looking for support at this level. Earlier in the week, we broke a bit lower, came down to retrace all the way at this 100%. Then we had this bullish variation. And then at this point now, we're moving averages have crossed. We're testing the moving average again. So we'll see. We'll see if this thing can pretty much hold at this level. Right now, it's got a lot of support here. So we got stops in a good spot. We'll see if it can find support here. If it does, this thing's gonna freaking shoot up. It's gonna go right up. So we'll see with GU. But let's take a look at some of these other pairs now. Makes sense as to what's going on here. So weekly time frame on EU. You obviously see here we've got the monthly, weekly levels, kind of using quarters theory here. We have this major level of resistance on EU that was met with this wick to the upside, and now we're potentially pulling back, but we are bullish. We are bullish on this overall. It has been very bullish since May. So coming down to the daily time frame, we went over this on Sunday, is very bullish, moved up to this high point, and then we just got this nice found support here, which is the 618 level. Boom, right there, found some support, moved up, moving averages cross, and now look where we're at. Yesterday we had this bullish engulfing off of the support level. Now we're coming back to retest this. If I come down to the 4 hour time frame, gets a little bit choppy here, but overall, guys, this is the level that I'm looking for. I'm either looking to long out of this area or wait for this ultimately to break, and then I would start to take my short positions once I get below this level and start to retest. So EU, there's really nothing at the moment. If we start to see rejection out of this zone right here, out of this demand zone, that is when we're going to start to buy this, and there's a lot of room for this thing to push up. So I'm just going to clean this up a little bit right here. So my structure, my fibs are bullish. This is our demand zone. This is our previous low, our new high, and I'm just simply looking for support to be found here. And for this thing to push up, it's got a lot of room to push up, 180 pips. So say we take a buy in this zone once there's some rejection here. We put stops all the way below this level. This would be a solid 1 to 3, 3 to 1 risk reward here. So that's EU at the moment. It is dumping into this level. It is coming back. So this is the zone that we got to test and kind of see what happens. Let's go over to NU. This thing's plummeting as well. Let's come up though to the higher time frames, because guys, don't get too stuck on the lower time frame here. Stay on the higher time frame. See what's going on here on this weekly. Same as GU really. Last week, huge fucking bearish candle, large wick, doesn't actually engulf, but we are rejecting like a serious level here. I'm just gonna take this off. We are rejecting a serious level here, this monthly level at 7,300. So as you can see, it pushed back into that level, found resistance. Let's just go down to the lower time frame. Daily, still extremely bullish. I could even throw on this little trend line here. So daily is extremely bullish right now. I have marked this level. This is from the 4 hour time frame. So I'm pumped down to the 4 hour. And going into this week, this is really what we were looking for. What's going on right now? We can't all of a sudden be like, we're going to start selling, because the trend is very bullish. The trend is very bullish. Going into the week, we were up here and we were saying, oh, should we buy now? Should we buy now? But this wasn't the area to buy in. The area to buy in is the pullback. So we're getting that pullback now. We hit the support level that I wanted to hit. We tested it 3 times, found support. So at this point now, if we come down to this lower time frame on the 30-minute, even the 1 hour right now, this is setting up really nice right now. We're trying to get in on buys. This thing is setting up really nice, testing the 618 right here. So whenever we see some sort of reversal here, some sort of bullish variation, that's when I'm going to start to buy this. And this thing has a ton of room to push up. So this pullback was needed. We if we longed at this high right here, we had all this room to push down, 90 pips to push down. Now that we're finally pushing down, we are definitely going to get in on a nice buy opportunity. So we'll wait this one out. I'll put this out in the signals chat for you guys, the premium signals chat. This week was the free trial, so most of you guys should be in there this week. Let's see. Let's bump over to UCAD next. All of these moves right now, guys, are really good retracements. This is like ideally what we wanted to see in order to get in on more trades. On UCAD, we could see here, this one's a little bit different. On the monthly, we're coming to this support level. The 200 is here. This monthly support level is here as well. Had this large wick last month because remember, this past month's candles just closed. Coming down to the weekly time frame. Weekly had this bullish engulfing right here last week. So, going into the week, we were saying potentially this thing could push up, but we're still below everything. We're still below the moving averages, below the 200. Everything's pointing down, down to the daily. The trend is very bearish, guys. If we just trace it out, we've got like this. So these are all our lower highs right here. These is lower low, lower high, lower low. We just pulled back to potentially form another lower high. Going into the week, this was the analysis, looking for the rejection of this daily level. Kind of just fell off to begin the week, a bunch of pips. At this point now, let's see. This is like really perfect structure here. So on the sessions, sometimes I'll run through and I'll just like trace out market structure so you guys understand it a little better. So I'm going to go ahead and just trace this out. This thing is really moving really well. So I'm going to run through the example right here on UCAD. I'm going to go ahead, hide all these candles, take off the moving averages. So this is truly the trend that we're in right now, clearly a downtrend. If I were to fib this, we could see we came back, 50% was met. Could even clean this up a little bit. 50% was met. Once we break zero, that's when we're going to move to the new low. So we have this now was tested 618. We broke the low. And then remember, guys, on this fib, until this level is broken, this trend is still bearish. So it came all the way up to this level and found rejection there. So this trend is bearish on the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour time frame right now. There is this big monthly level of support, but we already pushed through it. So this thing could potentially head lower. The only thing is all this positive news around the vaccine now is kind of driving a dollar push. So that's going to be something to watch. That's something that we didn't really anticipate. So now we've got to see how that shakes out. But bringing this back on, freaking Biden from his basement, all of a sudden everyone's going to be vaccinated. This fucking guy. He's like the longest sitting president that has yet to do an interview like by himself.
Really?
Yeah, he's always got like fucking little posse or people moderating or some shit.
Got an entourage, man.
These guys, he's like a fucking gang, dude.
Because he's an android.
He's an android. He's like a gang member. All right, so on bringing everything back on, guys, this is very clean. Now, if every time frame is bullish, all we need to focus on is the lower time frame here, or I mean bearish. All we need to focus on is the lower time frame. And this is, we could either hop between the 1 hour and the 30-minute. These are the two time frames I like to take, my entries on. We can see on the 1 hour, we just double bottomed here. We're pushing up. If I were to fib this right here, this level was pushed up. We hit 38.2. Now we push down. I would technically mark this as some structure here. And this is ultimately what we're looking to be respected. If we reject this level, this thing's going to get a nice push to the downside. It's going to be a nice 70 pip move. So really the next half an hour is going to be telling as to what's going to go on. And look at the previous hour, how this wick already formed. Large wick to the upside here, about 15 pips. So, you know, this thing is showing some exhaustion here, some buyer's exhaustion already. And this is a good sign. If we were to come down to the 5-minute, there's nothing yet to indicate anything. So this is why we don't even look at the 5-minute. We just stay in the 30. 30 is going to tell us everything we need to know. If this thing pushes down and forms an engulfing without going to the 5-minute, it's clearly a break of some support here. So that's why we don't really go below the 30-minute time frame here, guys. But this is the idea right now on UCAD, looking to find resistance here, go lower. If this thing breaks, then we are going to, you know, look to long. But I really don't anticipate that happening right now. I don't anticipate a break. I'm really looking for this thing to respect the resistance right now and to head lower. And I'm looking for, just like I'm looking for golds. I'm looking for gold to go long, but that's not ready quite yet. So let's go over now to USEF. Let's take a look at this one. This thing is freaking going crazy right now. Let's go on the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame, we're getting the retracement that we needed on the weekly. Overall, we are bearish, but it was extremely overextended to the downside. Now we're pulling back. Just really, really quick, just kind of one look. Where are we looking for potential resistance? Potential resistance can come in based on all these wicks right here. And then the main level is this weekly level up here, this previous high. So we're coming into a potential resistance right now. Coming down to the daily, we could already see we rejected that one time with this large wick yesterday. Now we're coming back up to retest again. So this thing could shape up to be a extremely a large bearish push down. Going into the week, I was trying to look for the pullback and then go long on this one. At this point now, since we're about to test some resistance, I would look to short this. When would I actually try to short this? It really depends. You know, ideally, guys, if we're trying to be more conservative, I'm looking for this level to break like this and then form some sort of lower high, because right now we're clearly in an uptrend on the 30-minute time frame. So yeah, ideally looking for this level to break, find some resistance, and then we'll start to short this thing down into this monthly level, all the way down here about 100 pips away. So again, let's just take a look at GU, what the fuck this thing is doing. So GU, I am looking to long this. It is pulling back right now, but I still am looking for a potential long position on GU. EU, same thing. It's pulling back just like we needed it to on the 4-hour time frame. Let's see this. Pulling back just like we need to on the 4-hour time frame. So once this thing does find some support, we are going to look to go long on this. If it does break resistance, then we'll look to go short. NU, again, 4-hour, very bullish, daily bullish. We are rejecting this monthly, as you can see here, thing rejected really clean. But as I go down to the 30-minute, just trying to stay with my rules here. We did break resistance. Now we're in the pullback. This is where the entries should happen. If I'm bullish on 4-hour daily and the weekly, my long entries should be happening in these areas on the pullbacks, not in the highs, in the potential higher lows. So definitely looking for something on UCAD, as you could see, or NU, as you can see on UCAD. Again, this next half hour is going to be a big indicator of what's going to happen. If this closes, this is going to be a great sell, because stops are going to be really, really small, and there's going to be a lot of room for this thing to push. So we'll wait for this 30-minute, see how this thing closes. I'm going to move this up and put it on the watch list. And then USEF, we have a lot more to go on this one. Still have to break some support, and then we'll see what happens. I just want to pop over to UJ real quick. This motherfucker has been fucking me around all week, but you're going to cover UJ, right?
I got you.
All right,
Don't
so,
worry. I got you.
Yeah, I'm going to hop off that was everything I wanted to go over for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to jump in the chat, post them up, and we'll go over them at the end.
Oh yeah.
I'll give you the share.
All right, let's pick it up where we left off on AU. Hopefully my internet holds up. All right, so AU guys, with the overall trend in mind, which is very bullish, right? Clearly very bullish. We broke key resistance here at our monthly, gave us a higher low, double bottom, and then continued with a very strong rally, moving through another level of resistance at our weekly, 0.76. See how it broke right through, came back down, tested as support, and then continued to rally once again. So very bullish. AU's been simply overall bullish. So we can go to the 4-hour and see what's going on this time frame. Right, more intra-week stuff. So still very bullish. Here was that higher low testing the weekly after it had broken over here. Right, rallied up, consolidated for a while, came back down, tested, then started rallying again. We got a little bit of consolidation, then it rallied again, gave us our new high all the way up at 0.80. So this is a nice psychological level, great level that we hit. Reversed from there, came all the way back down to 61.8, consolidated, right around 0.775, then broke just through the MAs, and now is testing them. So this is what we like to call an entry opportunity. If we see, let me get rid of that, clear that up. So this is literally what we're looking for from here. Just want to see it kind of start to curve up from this point, right? Reject a little bit. A nice morning star would be ideal. Some sort of conviction from this level, because this is then a transition, right? We're pushing higher, we cross through the MAs, we're forming a higher low above resistance, now support. It's literally textbook, great confirmation. And what pair were you just covering that looked like this? NU, I think it was.
Yeah.
So makes a lot of sense, guys. Very, very similar in the way these are setting up. Look for an entry somewhere in here. Something like this. Right, so somewhere in there, off of this support, we'll be looking for an entry. Let me see what this would potentially look like in terms of risk to reward. So this is actually a massive trade. Holy shit. For AU especially, 185 pips. Let's round it off. And stop loss would be about probably below this 200. So about like 80 some odd pips. It's honestly a shitload of pips. I'm not really too happy with that. But somewhere between 70 and 80 pips. Let's call it 80 to be safe. 2.3 risk reward. Pretty good ass trade, right? If this does continue higher like that. So we'll see. It's a couple confirmations away from this one. Again, you're not going to take an entry on a 4-hour, guys. Now would be the time where you'd probably drop to the 1 hour, 30-minute, and start waiting for this to develop, cross back through the MAs with some conviction. Even maybe mark some lower time frame trends or channels just to give you some clarity. Like so. Look at this very steady channel. Okay, thereabout. So that would be really nice. If it started to curve back up, again, you get that MA cross, enter on an engulfing bullish variation, and then target towards 80 flat again. All right, so that's AU. AJ is going to be pretty similar. Let's jump over to that pair. Daily time frame to start. Very bullish, guys, just like AU. We broke resistance over here at the monthly. Started rallying from that point. We did break the weekly here as well. We did find a high around 85 flat, a couple pips shy of that. But we didn't get a higher low above the weekly. So that's interesting. Let's go to the 4-hour, see if we can get anything a little more concrete at this area. This is actually not one of the cleanest charts. Hold on. Let me just square this up. Okay. Shift these over. Okay. All right. So AJ's been very bullish as well. We did have a bit of consolidation over here before this rally. And then once this thing started, it just started flying. You're getting flag pattern after flag pattern. The thing just keeps rallying until we got close to, oh, wow, this is the wrong fib. Until we got close to our high up here, close to 85, then it pulled back. You could see here it pulled all the way back to the 61.8 and then rejected. Let me get rid of this line. Oops, where is it? There it is. All right, cool. So we formed our high, we fid this push, came back down, hit the 61.8, moved through the MAs again, and above resistance, our weekly. So now we're testing support at 83.25. This, again, just like we covered on AU, potential entry here. Let me zoom out. Okay, much like what we just saw in AU, steady bullish trend. Bit of a channel here. So essentially, we want to see this just start to take off from here. If you get an MA cross and bullish variations, that could be an entry. Let's go to the 4 hour and I'll show you the targets. Yeah, so pretty much from here, you're looking for 1 hour entries, 30-minute entries, waiting for some sort of conviction and confirmation to enter on, essentially. And then this is what this would look like. Probably get some confirmation in here, targeting just over 130. Stop loss would be pretty. Oh, wait, my bad. Whoops, wrong tool. There we go.
Shit. Think we lost them.
Out there and where the confirmations present themselves. So there's always, it's going to be pretty close, but it's got to be
Yeah, I would just kill your video. I would just kill your video because you're going in and out.
yeah, I'm covering it because I keep blowing my nose. I don't know if you could hear it. Oh man.
No, I would just kill your video because your connection's not good.
No, it's not working.
Nah, it's like coming in and out. Let me see this because your video's gonna your video's gonna take away from it.
All right. So you guys don't need to see me. All right. All right. So this is where the entry is. Yeah. Let me know if it's better or worse.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
All right. So this is what we're looking for right now. We're waiting for this confirmation. Just some sort of rejection off this confluence area, a weekly 38.2 fib level. And then, yeah, we're going to take a long into our 0%. So this is like about 2.5 risk reward, roughly 140 pips, risking, 55, 60. Again, it'll change a little bit, but the risk reward's here. This could be a nice little long opportunity on AJ. All right, let's move on to UJ. Nice. All right, so this one, wow, this thing's really coming back still. Interesting. All right, daily time frame to start, then we'll drop to the 4 hour. Overall, UJ's been very bearish, right? Very, very bearish in the higher time frames, especially monthly, weekly, daily. But here we actually did get a bit of a daily transition. So when we saw a break of 104.5, right? All right, so let me just break this down in terms of like how we identified this as a daily transition, a daily change of trend. So we see in a downtrend, we have all these lower lows, lower highs, right? Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. This is a lower high right here. So this was broken by this rally. So price action pushed up, broke this lower high, then tested that broken level as support, now giving us a higher low. That's the conviction breaking this bearish channel, right? So this is like a 30-minute, I mean, this is more like a 4 hour change of trend because it's breaking a 4 hour lower high, giving us a 4 hour higher low. And then what happens here? We break 104.5. This is like a daily lower high, gives us a daily higher low. That's a confirmed transition. So now we're bullish in the daily. Okay, that's the way I'm looking at it. So we're bullish in the daily, clearly. And why do I want to draw this over? There we go. Let me just change these levels real quick. All right, so clearly bullish, right? Higher highs, higher lows. We're rallying through major levels of resistance, 105.45. And then we rally to our monthly up at 107. Whoops. Whoops. Oh my God, there we go. All right, so then we rallied into our weekly. So clearly we're bullish. Let's go to the 4 hour, see what kind of trade setups we could find here. Let me reset the chart. We fibbed that. Let's do this one now. Boom. No. All right, wait. All right, so good. This thing is all the way up here. All right, cool. So a bit overextended. There's a few things going on here. We know we're overall bullish, right? We know that we are against key resistance, our weekly here. So we're a little hesitant to take the buys from this area, as we should be. You obviously want to enter on a higher low. So there's not much we can do with this area, but just analyze. So what do we see happening here? Clearly, it's overextended. We've yet to form structure. So let's go ahead and mark a couple areas real quick. We would like to see it pull back to the 61.8, preferably. For those of you who have the 71, somewhere in there. But yeah, 61.8, 38.2, this is where we're looking for a pullback. These are areas of influence. The 61.8 being a little bit more weighted here, more of a significant area. But essentially, this is what we're looking for. We want to see a pullback to form structure. So like so, I honestly didn't even think this is too close. I don't think it'll reverse 38.2. I'm really expecting 61.8. And then retarget towards prior high and negative fib levels. But essentially, this, I want to bring this to your attention that this pullback is very likely because this is not a healthy, this is not a strong trend. I don't know if you guys can just take a look at this little channel right here. This bit of price action, this rally, this is not a healthy trend. It's not very strong. It's overextended. It's kind of moving up slowly, but the fact that you're seeing a bearish candle after like pretty much every bullish variation here is kind of suspicious. That shows a weakening of trend. And then also notice the candles are gradually getting smaller, 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 smaller as we're reaching the weekly. This right now, this bullish momentum could be the last bit of buyers before we see ultimately a reversal. But we'll have to see. Just to me though, this shows very, very weak trend. So actually, ideally, this would be very nice to see. Right? Something like that. Maybe even consolidation. Okay. Something like that. But essentially, I want to see this transition lower, form structure, and then give us entries to then, or opportunities to enter long on. But yeah, as of right now, we can't really do much because it's sitting at this weekly, right? Very, very key level of resistance. We got to see if it moves through it or bounces. I mean, this momentum seems like it's pushing, but we'll see. For us to consider a bearish or to be bearish on UJ, I mean, this thing could stay bullish as long as it's above the 61.8. Honestly, even all the way above this 200 EMA. For me to be really safe on taking long-term shorts, I would need to see a transition below 105.4. However, for those of you that like a little more risk, like to trade more intraday stuff, lower time frame stuff, wait for this transition and then target down towards 61.8 if you're trying to catch an intraday move. You could catch a nice little 80 pip drop down to the fib level. Okay, so there's some opportunities here, but this is really the play that we're looking at right now between the 61.8. So either you're going to short to the 61.8 or wait for the pullback, confirmed higher low to then enter long on. So those are your options as of right now. Yeah, that's UJ. All right, let's move on to our next pair, EJ, and then I'll wrap it up with gold, which is always interesting. EJ to start, daily time frame, overall super bullish, higher highs, higher lows. We're moving through key levels of resistance. The most recent being 126.5, and then we have this very strong bullish trend, bullish channel presenting itself here. So let's go to the 4-hour. Okay, here's that channel, very strong bullish channel, which makes it easy for us, right? We know that we got a higher low above our monthly. That's what we were waiting for. This higher low right here. Finally, we got one. My God, it took forever. So like just so you guys know, this higher low, see how price action pushed above, rejected as new support, this monthly zone? We hadn't seen that yet. We look in the past. I mean, it kind of did here, but it didn't follow through with conviction. Just gave us another lower high after a false bullish variation. Didn't give it here, right? Kind of just flopped. Price action died. And then obviously nothing back here. There's no higher low. So this was really the first higher low right here, confirming a push higher. So that was nice to see, finally, right? All right, so that's that. Very bullish. So let's go to the more current price action. We're just going to keep riding this trend or look to keep riding this trend here. Let's see. These fibs are a bit skewed. We're going to need to go to the 4-hour here, but overall we're bullish. We're actually around the 4-hour. Let me expand this. So still very bullish. Here we go. All right. Let me extend these a little bit. Wait, what was I working on here? The 1-hour? There we go. My Lord. Much cleaner. All right, cool. Yeah, this is better. All right, so this is more of a onto a 1-hour time frame. Let me extend this a little bit here. All right, so this was coming down, right? Coming down here. We tested support here around it was 128.3. Nice little transition here. That's where I marked the zone. See how I pushed out through the MA's little retest and then took off. So this is great because we reached a new 0%, the top of the channel, and now it's pulling back a little bit with good volume. We hit the 78.6, right? Also prior resistance, now support, and now it's pushing up. So this honestly could be a decent entry in here too if we see some sort of 30-minute entry potentially. I see. I see it here. Nice little minor level here. Okay, go back to the 1-hour. All right, so if this candle closes above this, this could be a little entry here. I would have liked to see this consolidate for a little more, let these MAs catch up, but there's a lot of volume here. Let's see if this trade makes sense. Yeah, not quite. Not quite. The risk reward's a little off. You need to target all the way up towards our prior high here to make it 2-1. So, I mean, this is just going to have a little more risk. This is not a I love it kind of setup, you know. There's an entry here, potentially. Not the cleanest, not the highest risk reward. But you know, it's still very much bullish. So if it does execute there, you could take a nice long opportunity. If not, wait for it to develop more within this channel. So let's say, honestly, this thing could even pull back. Like this could honestly pull back all the way to here and still be bullish. You know? So honestly, rejection from here, it's wherever we see the confirmation, but we're bullish as long as we remain pretty much above this 200 EMA and this bullish channel. If you saw some sort of lower high below this, then we would be bearish. But really, for now, as long as this bullish channel is intact, as long as it supports price action, it's going to be bullish. Definitely. Definitely. All right, cool. So that's EJ. Let's move on to gold. Oh, man. Gold. All right, so we know that on the daily, it's overall super bearish, right? Has been for a while. Or it has been since here. The weekly has been bullish. The monthly has been bullish because it's been appreciating for years. So clearly that's bullish. But on the daily, it's been bearish since we reached our high at 2070 handle due to COVID. Came back down. And then we finally confirmed this as, what is this? Was it weekly bearish? Yeah, it was weekly bearish. Now we're weekly bearish because look, this was the higher low that was broken. We moved through that 1800 handle on the daily, and now we are bearish on the weekly. So the transition came, it happened. Price action's falling like a rock, absolutely nuts. I think I had my target, yeah, down here. I was expecting price action to fall down to 1675. Could still be headed there, definitely could be. Let's go to the 1-hour and take a look at this trade that we had marked up from yesterday. So those of you that are in the premium signals that joined the webinar last night, you would have seen us marking this up, a little gold trade.
It's 1 hour.
Yeah, man.
This thing's looking clean.
We were scoping this thing, but yeah, this is how it worked out. Sorry about the highlight tool. We were watching this move through these MAs last night, right? Watch this lower high develop. There, so before we actually drew this out, we were expecting it to either reject from here, which was likely, or this higher time frame structure was not formed yet. So we're expecting this pullback, but we thought it was likely that if it does drop here, we'll see that 1707 handle is met, and then maybe it would pull back to form structure from that point. So if you guys know patterns at all, this would be a nice little double bottom on the 4-hour. right? Which would play, which we've seen before. We've seen 0%. We've seen double bottoms at 0%, and then a pullback for structure. Definitely seen it. Maybe that's this, right? We could see that pullback, and then this would be your re-entry for those of you that are kind of pissed you missed out on gold. Boom, that would be your entry up here.
Mm-hmm.
Right, this is what Angelo and I were talking about on the session yesterday. Because again, structure hasn't formed, so this thing could just turn around and boop, come right back, hit structure, and then dump. So be aware for that. But for now, yeah, I mean, if you're in the trade, you know, take some profits, maybe keep managing down towards 1675 if we see that. If it starts to come back, then you know we'll look for re-entries. But overall, super bullish on gold, guys. Great move here. This was just such a good move. Like 230 pips. The frig. Light work, guys, on a Tuesday night.
That's
But
right.
anyway, so yeah, super bearish, guys. Super bearish. So again, if you're in the trade, just continue to manage. Keep an eye on this monitor on like the 1 hour or less. But if you're not, and you're looking for the re-entry, guys, just wait for some pullback to structure. What tool did I just grab? Jesus. Yeah, just wait for structure and then re-entry on proper confirmation. So that means MA pullback with an MA cross, bearish variations, fib level, structure, trend lines, whatever you're using as the confirmations. But that's it, guys. That's all we got. That's all I got for you guys. That's gold. Quick recap: DXY, AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. All right, a lot of movement this week, guys. It's some good setups that have already played out. A couple more that will. We'll be ready for it. Just stay patient. And let me get this logo back up here. Represent.
Sure.
Hell yeah, there it is.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So I'll stop sharing here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just share up real quick. All right, guys. So just to end the call here, this will be our last free live session of the week. We'll have another one on Sunday at the normal time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. If any of you are interested in the products, these are what they are right now. Signals, 75 a month. You see my screen, right?
Yeah, it just cut out. I see charts.
Oh, you see charts. Hold on. You see the website or?
Yeah, it's behind it. It looks like maybe.
Really? What do you guys see on the call? What do you
There
guys?
we go. Now I see it.
Dude, it might be your
Dude, what's up with our Wi-Fi today?
Your internet might be.
Dude, somebody's tanking us.
But yeah, anyway, guys. So if you're interested in any of the products here, these are the prices. If you want the lifetime membership, just make sure you schedule a call, and I'll walk you through everything that's included. If you want the signals, you can sign up inside of the Discord or inside of the Telegram. I'm just gonna walk through real quick for you guys that don't know, I guess, navigation in here. If you're in the main Telegram, all you need to do is come to this pinned message at the top. This has all of the links that you need. If you want to join the chat where everyone's talking, you could join here. If you want to join any of the free services, the course, the Discord, just click this bot right here. If you want more information on the full course, the signals, the account management, or the funding, click any of these. And then obviously there's a little bit more that you guys can walk through. Our broker we work with, help you set up that. And if you need to get in touch with me at any time, live support, just shoot a message here. We had some people messaging last night saying that we weren't answering. It was because it's like 3 a.m. for us and we're fucking sleeping. So
Oh my god.
yeah. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's the pinned message. We'll do a live call tomorrow for the signals group specifically. We'll look at some trades, potentially give out some more trades. These free calls are really just to cover structure, do our analysis, keep up with the higher time frames, where things are potentially moving. The live calls we're going to start doing for the signals, those we'll actually give out trades on. We'll give out like solid trade ideas. That's included in the signals. So if you guys want to get in on that, it is 75 per month. And yeah, just hit us up if you have any questions, and we'll see you guys on the next call.
Oh yeah. Thanks, guys.
Peace out, everybody.